fine. Bro, you need to fucking chill. I'm trying to fucking solve shit, so just let me know when you're ready.
Oh, no, I was saying let's just do it after the national anthem.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Are we good over here? Good enough?
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NVA 2021 event number 1. We're coming to you live from San Bernardino, California, as the Los Angeles Blaze takes on the newly added Chicago Untouchables. Chicago is going to be making their debut with pieces of the former Tennessee Tyrants. So you're going to see similar names like Matt Buffum, Tom Burrell, but on the side of LA Blaze, they have many returners coming back with a couple new pieces. So that identity from that team is still going to be a very middle-centric, young squad full of energy. This is definitely going to be a great match to watch as we get the weekend started off. For those of you that have not seen the NVA before, we've got 2 conferences, the National and the American, 5 teams in both. All 10 teams are here this weekend. We're going to have 15 matches coming to you over the next 3 days, 5 matches every day. At the end of the season, after 3 events, the 4th event is qualified for by each team accumulating the best win-loss record, and if it goes to a tiebreaker, they'll be using the FIVB point scoring system. So every game really does count. I'll go over that FIVB scoring system in a bit while this match is getting going. But we're going to go ahead and dive into the rosters real quick. What you're going to see on the side of Blaze, they're going to be starting with left front is Charles Belvin, number 27. They're going to have Jonathan Rodriguez in the middle with Travis O'Gorman as the starting front right outside. They've got Jordan Wally in the 0-2 spot with Pedro Nieves, number 7 as the middle. Ricky Massanet, number 11, wearing the white. And they're going to have setter Marcus Buggs, number 24. On the side of the Chicago Untouchables, they'll be starting with their setter is going to be number 11, Mitch Wiskerchin. They're going to have middle blockers being Tom Burrell and Matt Buffum. We're going to see on the right side is going to be David Holliday. Outside's Nick Ramos and Will Ragland. And then liberos are going to be split between Juan Melendez and number 2, that is Moises Lopez. Everything's just getting settled here on the court. Refs are confirming lineups, and we're going to get it going. What you can expect to see on the side of LA Blaze here is number 12, Travis O'Gorman, is a GMU. That's George Mason University out of Virginia. He's a very explosive, aggressive outside hitter in the 1 position. Charles Belvin, in the previous November event, a big left side hitter, was coming off the bench. He has since taken the starting position here. And then both middles, that's Nieves and Rodriguez, have experience playing with the Puerto Rican national team. So you can expect to see a lot of experience, a lot of big swings, and very solid defense coming out of the middles on that side. Untouchables is a relatively unknown squad to me, but we're going to expect to see a lot of experience coming out of the middle between Buffum and Tom Burrell. Mitch Wiskerchin at the head is a coach player, so it'll be good to see him get going here. Marquise Bugs goes for a jump serve to start, and that's going to go in middle transition, dug by Massanet. Belvin takes his first swing, gets a high chop off the block, and it's going to be dug. And in transition, we go to the D-ball swing. That's going to go just long. First point of the day goes to Blaze. Welcome to the NVA 2021. We are underway. Plenty of serving room in here, and Bugs is going to take full advantage of it. Goes after that second one, puts that one in the net, and that's going to tie us up here at 1-1. Mitch Wiskershin on the back line. He's going to go for his jump serve as well. Comes cross court. O'Gorman with the pass first, and Rodriguez goes for the cut back. Buffum drops that right hand, closes that seam up, and that is a huge block for the Untouchables to take a 2-1 lead. Wiskershin once again going to be jump serving here. Good pass by O'Gorman, goes right back to the middle. A little bit of a delayed connection there, but Rodriguez finds it all the way at the top, swings into the back left court, zone 1 there, and finds a kill. Ooh, something is overturned. I have not yet seen what the call was. I believe it's a net violation. I missed what that one was, but that's going to be a 3-1 lead here for the Untouchables. And Wiskershin goes back for his third serve. Finds that one in the net as well. Both setters' serving runs so far ended by swings into the net. Now we're going to see number 8, Jordan Wally. Jordan played overseas in England while he was getting his master's and has since come back to the LA area and joined Blaze. Goes for a hybrid toss, passed perfectly, big swing, that's shut down one-on-one on the left side by Travis O'Gorman. Not this time, he says. Rodriguez unable to get to the backside for that block move, but O'Gorman says, no problem, I got this one-on-one. That was Will Ragland taking a swing on the right side there for the Untouchables. Wally once again goes for that hybrid. Serves that one just long, and if you're unfamiliar with what a hybrid is, it's going to be there's 2 ways to do it. You either toss with a top spin and then hit a floater. In the case of Wally, he goes for a 2-handed no spin toss and hits a jump spin out of it. Will Ragland here hits that jump serve. One-handed set attempt by Marquise Bugs. That one's going to find the antenna. O'Gorman, although he got up high enough, not quite able to grab that one before it hit the antenna. Another serve by Ragland. They're really targeting O'Gorman here, but so far so good on his side. One-handed slap there by Wiskershin, tries to keep it alive, and it's saved out of the back of the court. Massanet takes it short, and Rodriguez terminates that point out of the middle. Once again, opening up over his left shoulder and putting a pretty big swing down in the middle of the court there. Free ball handled beautifully there by Ricky Massanet. He is an extremely aggressive libero and does not want his players taking anything coming over less than a big swing. Rodriguez goes for the jump serve. Perfect pass, one-handed dig by Wally in the backside. O'Gorman goes for a chop swing. Wally covers once again, going backside to Belvin. He goes for a tip over the top, covered on the off block. Mitch Wiskershin goes quick to the outside, and Belvin is able to get his hand over with a double block, squared up by Nieves, and that's a shutdown once again. We're seeing energy coming out from Blaze early. Untouchables has had very good serve receive so far, so it's just a matter of time until their offense starts to click. Jump serve by Rodriguez. That one's going to catch a little bit of air, and he finds the ref right in the leg. Matt Buffum on the back line. He is a very good float server that plays phenomenal defense, a well-rounded player that plays plenty of grass, so he is not your typical middle blocker playing left back defense there. We'll see if he's able to extend a run right now. O'Gorman goes one-on-one. Mitch Wiskershin with a nice overhand dig, tracked down in the back of the court there by Ragland. Middle goes, Nieves gets set low, tips it over. Buffum sets outside. Great set. Block, touch, tap back over. Untouchables back in system. And we go to see the hard 4-to-4 angle swing there by number 15, Nick Ramos, getting his turn. Charles Belvin's going to be jump serving here. He has a variety of serves that he looks to hit. Sometimes going with a hybrid. Here goes Max toss there. Looks to use all the room in the gym. Wiskirchen goes to Raglan once again. Belvin with the overpass on the dig. Mitch goes backside, chop over the top, but picked up by Bugs, and Massenet's going to look for a bump set to the D ball here. Belvin with a nice swing over the net. Back set to Raglan, and that one gets over. It does not. Oh, it's a back row attack because the libero, number 3 for the side of the Chicago Untouchables, that's Melendez, takes that with his hands in front of the 10-foot line, which is an infraction if you hit that ball above the tape. Charles Belvin takes a big swing, gets underneath that one.
Search no more, it's here, fun and joy, endless cheer. The memory's so dear, after years, still so clear. Journey into this and more. Come on over and explore. Different world, surely say, nothing more one can ask for. Just treat your senses, experience, there's no pretenses. Every step is something new, perfect to refresh you. Live your favorite memory. Malaysia, land of memory. Keep your favorite memory. Malaysia.
Just a little note in terms of COVID safety protocol, both of these teams will not be switching sides between sets. Serve here for Chicago Untouchables, number 14. It's David Holiday. Touch called, a little bit of disagreement on the side of the Chicago Untouchables, and that's going to be a point here for Blaze. Travis O'Gorman will be hitting a jump serve here from the back line, goes up. Nice pass, a little bit tight. Wiskirchen takes that opportunity to jam it down and get his turn, but once again, a infraction here. Net called. Mitch doesn't put up any argument. He knows that's that one's going to go against him. And for my team listening, I think we're still having some trouble on YouTube. If someone's able to help me out down here, I would greatly appreciate that. Mitch is going to be back in system. Big swing on the 5th out of Will Raglan there on the outside. Tracked down. O'Gorman gets a one-handed touch. And that's one of those big advantages here to having so much space, is that we are able to, track balls down all the way. No one's running into any walls. Ramos hits that jump serve into the top of the tape, and that's going to be the second missed serve here for the Untouchables. One thing you really like to see is when guys are missing serves, you want to see them missing long or side to side. In the net never gives the ball a chance to even be received there. So number 7 is Pedro Nieves. Serves that, sends that one long. He didn't quite get a hold of that float serve the way he was wanting to, and that's going to bring Ricky Massenet back onto the court. Float serve here by Burrell. Can we get someone to get it up? Can we get someone to get it up?
They're trying.
Okay. We are addressing the YouTube technical difficulties at the moment, so bear with us. Sorry for that. Getting those first match of the day, technical issues resolved right now. Marquise Bugs goes back for a jump serve, and once again, that's his second one in the top of the net. I want to see him start making those kind of adjustments, and like I said, everyone's, working with some spatial, trying to get used to having this much court space behind, but miss long, guys. You do not want to be missing these serves in the top of the net. Excursion puts it in. Wally with a good serve receive outside. Belvin takes a swing from the outside here. Big kill for the lefty Oppo. Right now we've got a 12-11 score on the side of Blaze. Obviously we were hoping for a good match to start the day, but seeing just a 1-point differential here in the first is always a great way to start us off. Overpass, that's going to reset the Blaze offense. We're going to go to the outside. O'Gorman takes the big swing high and long. Misses that by a matter of 6 inches. Not quite able to come up with that. Something that's going to be a little confusing for these guys all day long is there's a very visible blue line that's about 8 inches behind the actual court line. So that one is very clearly long, but looks can be deceiving. Long serve, that's a nice aggressive rip there from number 13 on the side of the Untouchables. Raglan gets a hold of that one, but we'll look to see that progress as the day goes on. Number 14, Jonathan Rodriguez. Love to see if teams are pointing out that the that the Blaze now have a back row middle. There's always an opportunity to score against that. Guys tend to be less defensive as players. And there it is, right as I say it. Matt Buffum goes up, knows that he's got a middle blocker and back row as an option to swing at. Turns thumb down, big point there for Matt Buffum. Wiskirchen is, he's looking to get his middles involved early. He knows if he can rely on guys like Buffum and Burrell, he's going to be able to open up his pin hitters and spread the LA Blaze block wide open. Buffum goes for that float serve. Wally in perfect pass, nice 3 pass there. Belvin goes over the top. Right there, I mentioned a 3 pass, and what that is most, your passes are scored on a scale of 0 to 3 based on how many hitting options your setter has that they can run. So if it's a perfect 3, that means they can set every single one of your hitters. A 0 means that you've either overpassed the ball or you're basically going to have to free ball it over. So great pass there by Wally. Little off-speed serve by Belvin, goes deep, dug by Wally once again. Belvin's going to put his hands on that, and Wally's looking for an aggressive swing, covered by Massanet. O'Gorman with a high hand swing, uses the outside right hand there of the block of David Holiday, able to find that one down in the middle of the court, unable to be picked up by the Untouchables defense. Belvin, once again, he's going to be, you can tell from his approach line, he is just tossing that ball up as high as he can to go after it. Great pass here on Untouchables, and they go right back to the big route. That's going to be a double block set up by O'Gorman and Nieves, and they send it back once again. That is the LA Blaze 4th terminal block this game. They're doing a great job of getting over the net, blocking low, and taking away court. And definitely going to be a big, big momentum for them to carry them through this
Search
match.
no more, it's here, fun and joy, endless cheer. The memories so dear, after years, still so clear. Journey into this and more. Come on over and explore. Different world, surely say. Nothing more one can ask for. Just treat your senses. Experience, there's no pretenses. Every step is something new. Perfect to refresh you. Live your favorite memory. Malaysia, land of memory. Keep your favorite memory. Malaysia, land of memory. Malaysia, truly Asia.
And that was our second technical timeout. Again, those happen at first team to 8 and first team to 16. So no team yet thinking that they need a timeout. And we're going to get back underway. Once again, Charles Belvin using a 30-foot approach path. He is cleared for takeoff. If you watch his service toss, he might as well be throwing that thing to the ceiling. Full aggression and finds that just wide. But again, I would love to see that coming out of the timeout. He's being aggressive. He's missing over the net. He's giving his team a chance to, you know, Untouchables touch that or find some court, not missing in the net. David Holliday here goes for a float serve, and that's going to be a bump set to the outside. O'Gorman goes 4-4, hard angle, no one home for the defense there, and he's able to squeak that one by the defense of Melendez, number 3 in blue for the Untouchables. So far, we're seeing pretty much everybody but the middles on the side of Blaze hitting jump serves. Jump serve goes in. Melendez with a 2-pass there. We're going to go to the backside, use a D-ball. Little miscontact on the side, on the hand of Holiday there, and he's going to send that one just long. And that's going to be an 18-14 lead on the side of the LA Blaze. Controlled serve, perfect pass. Tip, that's pancaked up by Belvin, but overpassed on the side of Blaze. And couldn't tell if that was Tom Burrell there or Wiskershin, but a little bit of miscommunication about who's going to take that ball, and that one is sent long on the overpass. It's one of those errors right now that you really need to mitigate if you're the Untouchables. It's going to put them down by 5 here. O'Gorman going for his 3rd serve in the run, maybe 4th. And I hit him with the broadcaster curse there as he sends that one waffling long, no top spin in sight. Nick Ramos looking to return in kind with a jump serve. Goes down the line, Wally lays out, and it's going to be tipped over by Bugs. Pancake and a tight set that has to be tipped over. Massanet coming out of left back and dumped over by Bugs, and he's able to score that point, capitalizing on the Untouchables being a little bit out of sorts on that one. But big props to Ricardo Massanet coming out of left back, coming all the way through the center of the court there, finding that dig. That's a huge play, and things like that are exactly where you find your value in your liberos. When they're able to extend rallies and find ways to let your hitters hit, you love to see that. Massanet's one of the 2 returning liberos from Blaze that we saw out in November, an absolute all-star and a guy full of experience. He's definitely a younger player from Puerto Rico, but Blaze relies on him to be kind of a rock-steady voice back there that all the guys just get out of the way and let him make his plays. We're seeing a lot of good compliments on the side of Blaze between their blocking moves. Nieves and Rodriguez definitely doing a good job of controlling the flow of that defensive move. Jordan Wally playing some stellar defense right now, had a couple big digs. It's able to extend some rallies here. But Untouchables is just, you know, they're just a breath away of finding their voice right now. They've slowed down their middle a little bit, so I would not be surprised at all if coming out of the timeout, if we see Mitch look for Tom Burrell in the middle, and Tom goes to target back row Nieves as he's playing some defense. Probably a little push one, create some space, get away from Rodriguez, who's currently lining up a bit of a screen on the block. There's the middle attack we were talking about, dug by Belvin, and goes to O'Gorman in the back row, but there's no touch called, and the ball goes long. O'Gorman less than pleased with that call, but you know, old adage, the refs make the final call, so you just play the whistle. Burrell goes for a float serve here, puts that one in the tape, and I think the guys on the side of the Blaze are going, hey, ball never lies. That's going to bring us 21-16 right now as Bugs comes back for his 3rd serving rotation this set. Good pass once again, and Untouchables starting to force that middle a little bit. Passes a little low. Mitch tries to better that ball and goes to the backside with Buffum, but not quite able to make it work. His other option right now is to go to the outside, number 15, Nick Ramos. Potentially some back row action, so we'll see what he's able to do. Bugs ends the serving round with the serve long. Again, that's his 3rd serving error, so not something you want to see, but at least he's changed that up. Missing long is a better option. And that's going to bring a front row, third front row hitter for the Untouchables, but not going to matter in that rotation as Wiskirchen serves that into the back of his teammates up front. Blaze definitely enjoying plenty of serving space today as they've got a lot of aggressive jump servers here. Wally goes back to that hybrid, and he's able to put Untouchables out of system, but they're going to take a swing out of it, and you love to see that. Number 13, Will Ragland, able to find an approach off of Miss Wiskirchen, back setting a ball off his platform. Ragland making sure to do some damage before he rotates back to the service line. At a 6'1" outside, he's a little bit smaller, so he's got to use his size to the best of his abilities. Charles Belvin goes up with a one-handed swipe and able to throw that off the outside hand of number 15, Nick Ramos there, and throws it into the pin, scoring a point for the Blaze, and that's going to bring us to set point 24-18 for the Blaze. Rodriguez hits a safe jump serve, perfect pass, and they go back to Buffum, but O'Gorman, as the front row outside, steps in, closes to Nieves, and once again, the block of Blaze says not this time and shuts it down. Chicago Untouchables having a little bit of a rough second half, not quite sure where they're going to find those points. But that's a really authoritative win in the second half at 25-18 on the side of the LA Blaze. Again, due to my lack of familiarity with this new squad of the Untouchables, I don't know what options they've got on the bench or if they need any, and there's just kind of working out some of those early game jitters. We'll see how they handle that as a team right now. Sometimes, you know, you get into a new gym, getting everybody off the plane for the first time and getting them all wearing jerseys together. Everyone's got some adjustments that they've got to make, and Coach Mitch Wiskirchen, not only the setter, but also looking to make those calls for the team. On the side of LA Blaze, they've got Coach Eddie Zhou, a former China national team setter, now full-time coach in the LA area. So he's the one spearheading the guys in red. Some other interesting personnel changes that we've seen from Blaze. They previously had an outside hitter, Pablo Guzman, who was unable to return, unsure yet if for the season or just this event. However, his younger brother, Francisco Guzman, has now joined the team, number 2, I believe. So we'll see if he gets any court time at all. They've added some new names like Marcus Molina in the middle. Nick Lisdenis is a libero, is their second libero. We've already talked a bit about Travis O'Gorman and see him making his mark, as well as an extremely physical outside hitter. Now, some teams appear to be trying to capitalize on him, whether it's because he's the front row outside or they're trying to take advantage of his platform due to some, that was a lot of the things that people tried to take care of when he was at George Mason, is they would try to attack his platform. But O'Gorman definitely dialed in today, taking advantage of the serves coming at him, puts himself in system. All right, we're seeing rosters emerge here on the side of the Untouchables, and they're bringing back out exactly the same group of guys that left the court, so they're confident that those guys are the ones that are going to be able to get the job done. We are not interesting to me, and I don't know team dynamics here, but we've got number 5 over there in blue as well, and that's Ryan Alu. So anyone that saw the November event, he was the Texas Tyrants All-Star Libero. I'm sure we'll see plenty of him this weekend as well, but for now, they are opting to use Juan Melendez. I'm getting live sideline updates that he is dealing with a back injury. So for now, looks like he might be here to support the team. Unsure if that's going to be something that's a day-to-day or just a long-term incapacitator. So we'll keep an eye on that.
It's got home and guests. Just got the team names.
Home and guest.
Okay.
One thing that's going to be very interesting to see with a core of old Tennessee Tyrants players on the Untouchables. They were a team that really just, they were team never say die. They scrapped in extended rallies, and we've seen a little bit of that already on the Untouchables. So it'll be interesting to see how they're able to answer back here in set 2. Marquise Bugs takes another tight pass and goes for another dump, this time going with the one-handed back dump, sending that to zone 4, unable to be picked up there by Melendez in the front row. We'll see if Bugs can clean up some of his serving that he's been having some trouble dialing in so far. Starts off with a good one. And that's going to be a nice swing from outside hitter number 13, Will Ragland. Once again, doing some damage. They're showing that they really do like him as a right side option before he rotates back there. So Mitch knows what he wants from his guys, and we'll see what Ragland can now do on the service line. Massanet with a good pass. They opt for Wally, but that's going to be a tight pass. Little bit of an equipment malfunction here as the top of the tape came undone midpoint. The down ref signaled that dead. A little Bugs to Bugs connection here as LA owner Cynthia Bugs hands her younger brother Marquise Bugs a stapler, but they've opted to instead remove the equipment. So teamwork at its best right now. The boys are getting that off the top of the tape. We'll be back underway here in just a minute. We're at 1-1 in set 2. We're gonna run a quick mop here across the floor. I think some staples might have fallen out. So while we sort out some of the technical difficulties, the court's getting settled as well. Welcome to match 1. Sometimes just gotta iron those things out, but we'll be underway here in just a matter of seconds. On the side of the Untouchables, we're seeing a little bit of a shorter lineup. Very reminiscent of the old Tennessee Tyrants, of which there are many returners here, but a lot of 6' to 6'2" pin options for them. David Holliday on the right side anchoring them at a 6'4", but both outsides that they're using right now are 6'1" and 6'2", so definitely going to see them using a little bit of creativity, swinging high hands and challenging the blockers on the side of Blaze. Ragland, no answers, and that's what you want to see. That's a veteran move. Can't ice him, take him off the back line for 2 minutes while the court gets situated, comes back and hits that big jump serve, finds an ace off the platform of number 8, Jordan Wally. And that's going to give them a 1-point lead here at the start of the second set. Misses that one, but again, most coaches will accept if you're hitting 1.5 aces or 1.5 points serving aces, or sorry, 1 ace to every 1.5 missed serves. The ratio that you create as an effective server is usually one that allows for that that miss right there. So finding that ace is still a good exchange. Outside big swing there from Ramos. Block touch to reset. Bugs goes to the outside for O'Gorman. Hits off the high hand. Mitch is now out. And there's Ramos finishing the job. Like we said, using those high hands. He's going to have to challenge the large block of the LA Blaze. If you've ever watched Charles Belvin, he's somewhat of an Instagram phenom. He gets quite popular for showing that he likes to block with his face and entire upper torso above the height of the net, so definitely no slouch in the vertical department there. A little bit of a high set once again, but Rodriguez taking advantage of the back row middle blocker, Matt Buffum there on the side of the Untouchables. And we're going to see a serving substitution now. Francisco Guzman coming in for Pedro Nieves, or sorry, Jonathan Rodriguez there. A little bit of a wet spot on the court after Matt Buffum putting out maximum effort trying to find a pancake on that tip over the top. So the guys are getting that cleaned up, and then we're going to have a substitution. Quick little jump serve over the top. Tight pass, but handled beautifully by Wiskershin there. Gets a one-handed set to Tom Burrell. Tom is always going to be an offensive option. He's always up in the air, ready for any set that might come his way. Turns that back into zone 1 there and finds a nice deep swing, as he tends to do. That's going to rotate David Holliday back row and put Mitch Wiskershin with a dump option front row right now. Float serve goes short, but too short, and that one's in the tape. Holliday not happy with that result right there. Seeing a little bit of men's volleyball at its very best as some missed serves are being alternated back and forth. Belvin clears the runway as he gets ready for takeoff here. A couple cheers in the gym as everyone wants him to go higher. And that's a tip over the top. We're really starting to see Nick Ramos find a little bit more consistency and finding out how he's going to score his points. He was finding the low seam a little bit early on in the match, but now he's challenging high hands, finds the tip over the top, and takes advantage of a hole in the defense of the LA Blaze. But once again, Untouchables lineup right now riddled by missed serves and killing their runs, so they're going to have to make some adjustments there. Unfortunately, with Massanet in the back row for the Blaze, if you're not serving tough, you might as well just underhand that ball in, because he's going to make it a perfect pass. Buffum rotates back into the front row after that missed serve there by O'Gorman. Tom Burrell will be hitting a float serve here.
Can I confirm the score? 6-5.
Massanet with a high ball, and that's going to have to go back to the option. Charles Belvin, but right there we're seeing Ragland doing some damage right where he left off in the front row last time he was there. Sets the block well. Buffum gets out to close it, and they shut that down. Belvin not able to find that swing over the net. That's going to be a 7-5, so even with some serving errors that we've seen on the side of the Untouchables, they're answering back nicely here in the second set. Massanet out of system. That's going to be a bump set to Wally, who roll shots that to keep it alive. And a dump attempt that's stopped by Wally. Big option that O'Gorman gets dug in the back there by Ramos. Bugs has to go to Wally, opts for a chip shot once again. We're going to see a back row big option here. And Ramos swinging deep once again, finds a block touch. And that's going to be a point once again for the Untouchables. That's one of the longer rallies we've seen today. Lots of tips, roll shots, and smart swings that everyone's looking for ways to extend the rally and find their swing. We're going to have a technical timeout, I believe, here at 8-5, getting that one sorted out with the scoreboard here. We're seeing a little bit of breath come in from the Untouchables here as they're looking to extend Burrell for his third serve in this run goes for this float serve once again. Wally with a low pass forces a one bump set to the outside. Wiskershin goes outside, and Ragland takes a big swing, but that's shut down by Nieves as he gets all the way to the outside there and up next to Bugs. Rodriguez back into the front row as Massanet takes a one rotation breather. Short float with a good pass by Ragland. That's going to be a little 3 option there from Wiskirchen trying to find Buffum, but Buffum a little bit too low on the set there, and he was not quite able to get that one over. Rodriguez seals well, and Blaze answers back out of this technical timeout, scoring 2 points, looking for a third here on the Nieves run. Float serve once again, breaks the hands there of number 15. Ramos not quite able to keep his hands together and finish with that one, so that's going to be an ace for Nieves. He really likes targeting the front row outside and sticking away from the libero, so good target selection from him. Goes right back, finds a tape, and Buffum tries to help out in the serve receive. Dug by Belvin down the line. O'Gorman on the big route, block touch kept alive on Untouchables, and that's going to be free balled over. Wally looks for a little knuckle punch, sends that one into the chest of Wiskirchen there, and not quite able to get that one out of the net. Untouchables is definitely defending the back row attack well from Blaze, but you know, the fact that Blaze is running it so aggressively definitely makes it something that has to be respected and is going to pay off for them in the long run. So definitely want to see that keep being used. Good flow from Nieves, high ball that's going to force an outside set, and another great block move there on the right side. That's Raglan being stopped for the 2nd time in a row. Wiskirchen not quite able to find a good handle on that ball as it slipped through his hands. And now Nieves has taken an 8-5 deficit on a 5-point run and taken a 2-point lead. Hand pass by Ramos is going to be a one-hitter option on the side of Raglan. He gets a triple block from Wally. Nice dig by Nieves, and Wally looks to go over on 2, tries to step close and send that ball over, and finds that one a bit short in the bottom of the net. Wiskirchen with that lefty jump serve finds his ace, answers back right onto the back line, attacks the seam between the back row outside O'Gorman and Massanet in white. Able to tie that up at 10-10. See if he can find another one to put the Blaze out of system here. Massanet puts it back in system. Rodriguez goes with a dug, and free-balled over by the Untouchables. O'Gorman once again proving that big option is one that's going to be extremely valuable all weekend long for Bugs. A little bit of a miscommunication there on the side of Untouchables with what they were trying to do with that dig and transition out of it to an offense, and ends up free balling the ball back over. Ball in the tape, and that's going to have to be chopped to the corner. It's a good location. Massanet able to find it, and Belvin takes his swing. Swing is long or wide. Either way, doesn't find the court that he's looking for. And once again, tied at 11s here. Everyone trading points. Couple runs here and there with certain servers on both sides. So Raglan seeing if he can start his own service run right now. Once again, missed serve in the net. Like to see these guys all clean their serving up, but for now, you know, they're trying to make it work where they can. Wally going for his hybrid. Buffum will be hitting his float serve, hopefully over the net. Just over the net, finds a good pass there by Wally. O'Gorman uses the high outside hand. Untouchables back in system and looks for Raglan on the bick. Dug by Bugs. Bumps at the outside by Massanet. And once again, that deep, high swing from Charles Belvin, scoring a point for the Blaze. One of the things I really wanted to see more of coming out of the November 2020 showcase was more big attacks and back row involvement from a lot of teams. You know, a couple teams were definitely anchored. You see the Utah Stingers relying a lot on Storm Ngata Tafunga. And, you know, he was one of the most iconic big routes we were seeing. OC Stunners as well. But definitely seeing some other teams like the Untouchables and Blaze develop that early here is an exciting thing after a couple months off. Now, all these teams are always working with COVID and trying to find court time when and where they can. So excited to see that everyone's made the adventure out here to the West Coast and able to find a way to compete. No substitution this time, as it's a 1-in, 1-out FIVB rule. So that's going to mean Francisco Guzman not able to sub in for Rodriguez. Rodriguez goes back for his jump serve and earns an overpass for it, but Wally doesn't handle it at all, and overpass is essentially not the pass you want to see. That's got to be a perfect pass, putting your guys back in system, but Untouchables happy to accept that free point for them, and that's going to be opposite David Holiday on the back line. Goes for the float serve, Massanet with a perfect pass, and Belvin once again the option. If you give him hard angle, he will take it, say thank you, and run with it. That time finds the inside hand of Tom Burrell in the middle and able to score a point there before rotating back row. Blaze working with a 1-point lead here, seeing if Belvin's able to open that up with a couple points of this huge serve so far. And that's a great start. Nice system there by Ragland. Great option there. Little Ragland to Ramos. It's a back set from the outside and middle back right there. Ramos uses it well. Float serve to O'Gorman's hands. Puts Nieves back in system. Uses that nice little push route, and Bugs is all about that. Loves to see that little bit of a misconnection they've been struggling to find so far today. Score them a huge point right there out of Nieves in the middle, number 7. O'Gorman had a miss serve last time he was on the back line, and he looks to answer back right now, and he does so, getting an overpass. Block touch slows down the overpass from Wally, and a big route to Ramos goes just wide. And that's going to be a 1-minute technical timeout here at 16 as the Blaze were able to switch that up. The last technical timeout we had was called as Untouchables at 8 first, so that's 8 to 5. That's been swapped back 11 to 6 scoring run on the side of the LA Blaze. So
Where do
good
I
answer from
go
them, and you know,
when
we're
I've
seeing the same amount
got
of block
nowhere
touches for
to
terminal points here,
hide?
but we're finding the hitters find a little bit more there.
When
Who
will
said it,
I
Marquise
feel
Bugs? Looking good
like
for
I'm
that.
truly
Untouchables far from out of
living
this, though. We'll see if
life?
they activate their middles a
I'm
little bit in the
waiting
second half.
around,
Their passive
trying
serve
to
seems to be a little
find
bit shaky,
my
not quite finding the system they want.
time.
Ramos and Ragland able to
I've
wheel
gone
it
out
a
of
little bit more so on
bounds,
the outside,
hoping
which
to
is definitely helping them here in the
see
second
a
set. But if they're finding that system, we definitely expect to see Buffalo and Burrell activate.
Then I wake up
Quiet so far, but not
and I
really set
start
action,
the
so we'll see
whole.
what they go to activate here. We're seeing a lot of dig touches in the back row by Melendez, but I want to see if he's able to pop these balls up a little bit higher, even if they're 25 feet off the net, just to let his guys, you know, extend the route a little bit, play a little bit more. But sometimes you got to take what you can get. That technical timeout comes to an end, and that's going to put O'Gorman back there once again. Nice serve, and he answers with an ace out of the technical timeout. Better point, I can't think of one. See if he's able to follow that up. If he's able to get one more here on this serving run, open Blaze up to a potential 4-point lead. Out of rotation called on the side of Untouchables. And there's a lineup where the opposite is in the wrong seam on the back line there, and Holiday making a crucial mistake there that Blaze just getting a free point. I'm mentioning O'Gorman trying to earn that next one, but I mean, all he had to do there was serve the ball. 18-14. Aggressive jump serve. Once again, he finds his second ace of the run. Don't let him get warmed up. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Untouchables call timeout right here, and there it is. Mitch Wiskerson goes to the down. Ref says, sir, we need a breather. O'Gorman answers back, and anytime you're a server forcing the timeout, it feels good, and make no doubt about it. O'Gorman knows that timeout was called for him. A lot of pressure being put back on the Untouchables, trying to find an answer to the serving pressure that we're seeing across the board from Blaze. And earlier I talked about when errors are acceptable on the service line, I said, you know, you want to see 1 ace to every 1.5 missed serves. So the reason behind that logic is that if you're hitting an ace for every 1.5 missed serves, all the points that aren't aces are so aggressive, in theory, that you're putting teams out of system. So right now, O'Gorman's been battling with some missed serves, but the fact that he's found 2 aces in this run alone, he's starting to make a pretty good argument for giving that guy the green light on the back line. So he's coming out of his second time out in the same service run. We'll see how he answers this one. Good serve, but there's the middle we were talking about getting activated. Massanet gets them back in system, and there's that misconnection where Bugs is not quite finding his middles the way that they want to see him. We saw the likes of Massanet, Nieves, Rodriguez, and Guzman all arrive with LA Blaze, giving them one practice together on Wednesday. So that connection is going to be reestablished a bit here with Bugs. Reset point here as back set goes to Belvin. Dug and rallied out by Untouchables, and they look for Ragland to score a point. He finds that one into the hard angle, avoids the block there. Ragland needed that one. He's been blocked twice on some of his last swings here. So being able to come up, score that point for the Untouchables, it's got to feel good. And we'll see if he can ride some of that momentum right now as he's got a couple more rotations front row. Tom Burrell goes for that deep float. Wally finds it on his hands, and he's the one-hit option. Sends that one high over the top, no touch block at all. And that's going to be an Untouchables run here coming to 17-19. They're putting themselves in a nice position to keep this set 2 well within their grasp. Timeout forced on the side of Blaze. So Untouchables finding a little bit of energy, a little bit of cohesion in their last timeout. Well handled by the man at the helm, number 11 there, Mitch Wiskerson. So good for him. And we'll see what Coach Eddie Joe tries to put together here on the side of the LA Blaze. Once again, you know, it's almost the same message I said about Untouchables last time now being applicable to the LA Blaze. We'll see if they're able to activate their middles. There's been a little bit of a misconnection. Their serve receive's been pretty good, so Bugs can definitely look to activate his middles, even 8 to 10 feet off the net. Both Nieves and Rodriguez are extremely physical and more than capable of finding points in some more aggressive set selections here. So we'll see what Blaze opts to do. Also wouldn't be surprised with O'Gorman's Bic routes that we've seen so far to see if he gets involved. Burrell goes for the float serve, probably targeting the front row outside. There it is, and Wally with a hand pass. The middle once again, there it is, and that one is called long. Captain Charles Belvin tells the guys, hey, don't worry about it. That's an aggressive run. That's exactly what we want to see from our offensive selection. We're going to find it this time. Pretty incredible to see a guy go from being their second opposite off the bench to the team captain in a matter of 4 months, but extremely deserving of that title. An emotional leader as well as a physical one. And that serve is going to go just wide, but Tom Burrell opens up a 3-point run there for the Untouchables. Definitely giving them you know, a little bit of that breath of fresh air they're hoping to find. That's going to be Nieves, who tends to target the front row outside. We actually see Holiday now, the opposite in serve receive for the Untouchables, stepping Ragland out. So Holiday's probably going to be the serve choice here. But it's able to be Ramos. Ragland a little bit offset, gets himself an overpass, resets this one-handed tight pass there. Untouchables not quite able to control that, and Wiskerson tries to go up with a one-handed joust, but Wally once again dominating the net in that one-on-one selection there. Buffum was a pretty clear intended set recipient there on the side of the Untouchables. But we'll see if they're able to activate him here. Raglan going to set the pipe attack for Ramos, who gets a standing swing. Once again, target the back row middles. I can't say it enough. If you're a young player at home wanting to know how to improve your game, things like that, knowing who is where, what is the personnel on each side of the court. A nice little down ball there gets a missed dig, and Untouchables are now back in a driver's seat. Kick route for O'Gorman. Blaze answers back confidently, and we're seeing the duo of Belvin and Massanet controlling the back row there. Good extended rallies, nice block touches on both sides. But that back row threat from O'Gorman has been relatively unanswered, other than a couple of digs that were on this, brought up on the side of Untouchables. Once again, serving errors, Riddle, the storyline of Marquise Bugg's serving runs. Hits that one into the antenna. Raglan goes for the shortcut option, and Rodriguez up, and that is how you answer back, and Bugs knows it. Finds his middle on a push route to Rodriguez, gets that high point of contact, uses all 6'6" and big wingspan of that middle. Rodriguez loves to swing deep there and uses his full size. We're gonna see a jump serve here from Wally.
Josh, 25-18. 25-18, thank you.
And that's going to be a timeout as we get to set point at 24-20 here. Once again, Wally is one of the only guys in the league that hits this hybrid serve, and I got to tell you, as someone that gets to pass against it twice a week, it is not a good time. He generally attacks seams fairly well. He likes to attack both the 5-6 and the 1-6 seam, finding whoever the weaker passers are, and uses a couple of years worth of international experience to see if he can get some teams out of rotation. So far, we're seeing, Untouchables willing to make some runs to challenge the control of Blaze here, but they've made some mental errors and just some of those smaller points. And as the level of play in the league continues to elevate, unfortunately, it's those kind of points that you just can't give up. And there's something to be said for your welcoming to the NVA. So we'll see how they progress throughout the weekend. But Wally looking to see if he can finish this second set off, taking Blaze to a 2-0 lead with a good serve. Opts for a jump serve, no hybrid here. Goes straight down the line, great pass by Ramos. Middle option with Matt Buffum. Mitch Wiskershan showing his range there with a 7 to 8 foot set over the shoulder. Buffum goes to zone 5 as he loves to do. Drops that thumb and swing away, 21-24. Buffum no stranger to long serving rallies, so we'll see if he can open something up to challenge a late game run here. Belden with that inside set and just says, end it now, boys. He uses that lefty swing to just go inside of the block of Tom Burrell and goes 2-2. No defensive move there that's able to find a dig. Blaze coming out with a little bit more fire than we've seen from them traditionally in the past, and as a team, in the previous 2020 event, they were struggling to find a little bit of that consistency, and they're really finding it right now. Belvin stepping up, being an anchor for that. O'Gorman having a great match so far. Wally's really slotting in nicely as someone that doesn't need to be an offensive threat, but more be the guy that's able to anchor them in serve receive, be aggressive on the net. He's taking care of 2 or 3 overpasses in positive fashion, so really love to see that. As the Untouchables here kind of try to find their goals for the third set, I think we need to see a little bit more of an answer from the right side. Holiday there not quite finding the points that he would like to. Not many set options to the backside, so I don't know if they've got another opposite that might be someone they can go to here. But we're seeing a little bit more production as well out of number 15, Nick Ramos. Comes up with, I think, 4 kills that set, including one nice little step close out of system out of the back row off of the hands of Pedro Nieves as he was back row. So we'll see if that can be improved upon here. And everything we've ever seen about the offensive style of these guys is they want to run their middles. So again, Tom Burrell, Matt Buffum, they're going to be the set options. So as long as Blaze is able to continue applying as much pressure from the service line as they are, that's going to really put Untouchables on the back foot and challenge them to step up that serve receive. You can see some of the players just staying warm there on the side of Blaze. You know, it's always interesting to see as the NVA evolves and pushes the boundary and starts to develop, you know, as a league, the mentality of everyone's here to play is long gone, and it's all about finding those wins early. And since we're using the FIVB scoring system, what that means is that you earn points in the manner in which you win. So if you win 3-0 or 3-1 in set counts, you're going to earn yourself 3 points. You earn 2 for a 3-2 win. You earn 1 point for losing in 5, and no points for a loss in 3 or a loss in 4. And like I said, that's not the sole decider if your team goes to the 4th event of the season. But if there is a tiebreaker, points are what decide that. So, you know, winning isn't always enough. The manner in which you win also could have a very large impact on your season. And with some powerhouses like the Stingers, Stunners, Freedom, and Ramblers still in the league, you know, some of these younger teams that are trying to come up and earn their way into that final 4th event, those games now might matter later on in the season. We are in fact seeing a little personnel change, though. We're going to see Francisco Guzman making his starting debut here for the side of Jordan Wally. I think that's an option just to kind of get him some court time. Like I said, Wally really providing that 0-2 defensive support for the team, so makes sense from the side of Eddie Joe. Good pass here as we start the 3rd set, and that's going to be a high swing off of the hands of the LA Blaze block, dug by Massanet, but not quite able to be controlled. But anytime your defense is getting touches, 2 to 3 touches in defense, and preventing those points from being scored very easily and just ball to ground, it's it's an easy way to maintain some energy. And the other sub I did not see is Joseph Cuevas, number 15, replacing Charles Belvin here. And on his first swing of the set, he's going to be blocked straight down from the duo of Buffum and Holiday right there. Great way to answer back from the side of Untouchables with a 2-0 lead here in the 3rd set. Mitch relying on that jump serve once again, pushes him deep. Massanet finds a great reception. And Francisco Guzman is able to use the outside hand of Raglan there, swings and uses it to tool him out of bounds, scoring the first point for Blaze in set 3. Guzman has a low toss jump serve that he likes to toss on the first step of his approach. Doesn't quite find what he's looking for there. I think he pointed at the lights. The lights, we got some bright LED. It's a well-lit gym, but if you look at those lights too quick, you're gonna have a bad time. Massanet with an overpass, but saved by Bugs with a one-handed set to the outside. You'll love to see that kind of physicality on the new Blaze setter as he goes to outside O'Gorman there. Number 12 finding his kill. Marcus Molina reports in as well. The 3rd middle on the side of Blaze, number 21 there. He's going to be replacing Nieves this match, so we'll see 3 substitutions, and the side of Blaze using everyone except for their 2nd setter. Buffum goes for a cutback swing this time, but kept alive on the side of Blaze, and O'Gorman chops to keep it out. Setter now out there. We're forced to get a libero set. And there's the block on the side of Cuevas and Molina forming that up to stop number 15, Nick Ramos. Rodriguez jump serve. Perfect pass, and Holiday goes up for his swing, and that's what we like to see, the lefty getting involved there, finding a swing into middle back that's not quite able to be dug there by Guzman. Buffum goes for a float serve. O'Gorman puts him tight, one-handed set option there. Molina goes up, but there's a middle blocking substitution there from the Untouchables, bringing number 17, Taylor Megorian in, and he's getting his licks in early, not waiting for an opportunity to get involved. That's a 5-3 lead here for Untouchables as Buffum hits another float serve. Great pass by Guzman, goes to O'Gorman, who finds the pin on that swing. Tries to open up his shoulders and attack the line there and take Mitch Wiskirchen out in the defensive option there, but finds the antenna, and that's going to be a point for the Untouchables. Buffum with another good float serve. Back set option to Cuevas. No rotation, maybe even some backspin on that ball. No block touch anywhere to be seen. And that's going to be a timeout called on the side of LA Blaze at 3-7. A little interesting here, potentially forgetting about a technical timeout, or maybe just looking to slow the pace all around in case this point doesn't go their way. But we're going to see a timeout right after this point if the Untouchables get it. So it'll be interesting to see how that pacing and tempo kind of affect Blaze as they're looking for a footing here. They've made 3 substitutions while Untouchables have made 1. And, you know, sometimes that makes a little bit of a difference in chemistry that's really going to be too much. So we'll see what Blaze is able to do in terms of dynamic problem solving here as the third set rolls on. But so far we're seeing the Megorian switch here for Burrell making some positive changes as he's already scored a point on his first block of the match. Guys back out on the court. Buffum hits that float serve once again. Great pass by Guzman. And now we're seeing the no spin float serve out the back of the court on the side of O'Gorman. And that's exactly what we talked about now. Untouchables score that point, and we're seeing back to back. Effective in finding ways to score their points. This is going to be him coming out of his second timeout as well. Guzman with a good pass, opts for the middle. Nice dig there by Wiskirchen. We see that back set once again, and that one goes in. There's that exact same connection we saw earlier from Ragland to Ramos. A great tempo set. He loves to put his guy on a wire. And that's going to be a 9-3 lead here on the side of Untouchables. Buffum goes even shorter this time. And O'Gorman goes for the angle, but there's that Buffum defense I was talking about, and Ragland goes and gets his on the backside. Every guy on Untouchables finding ways to get involved, and now that digging defense on the side of the Untouchables is really coming to life. We saw Wiskirchen on the last point get a dig. We see Buffum get one on this one. they're really extending the rally and putting Blaze on the back foot. Good pass by O'Gorman. Joe Cuevas gets a dig touch against him, but able to score that one. Gets a little bit more calibrated on that right side swing. And that's going to be a 4-10, 6-point deficit for him. Joe loves aggressive jump serves down the line, so in this case, that's going to be a libero on the end of that serve reception with number 3, Melendez. So it'll be interesting to see if they if he opts to try and attack the libero there out of liking the position, or if he wants to swing cross court, give himself a little bit more room to miss on the length, and see if he can find the beginning of a run here. Looks to go for that, zone 6 seam. Doesn't quite find the contact, and if you can hear it on the live stream, that is a missed contact for sure. Very little spin, sends that one long. Holiday goes for his float serve once again. Challenges it short, and the platform of Guzman is being tested right now. But O'Gorman finds a nice step close, finds the inside route, gets behind that bump set from Bugs, and rips into the libero's platform there, and Melendez not quite able to keep that one controlled. That's what really pays off when you have an explosive outside one like you do on the side of Blaze with O'Gorman. He really does a great job of moving his feet and doesn't ever look for anything less than a big swing to put the ball over. Good pass by Ragland, goes back to the middle. And once again, we're seeing Magorian finding his involvement here. Well done, opens that up, drops his thumb down, and swings into zone 5 for a point for the Untouchables. Ramos with a nice swing. Good pass there, high in the middle of the court. And Joe Cuevas with his second hitting error here as he misses the court on that one as well. And that actually might be his third hitting error. And we just see Coach Edison Joe give Charles Belvin a little nod, so start getting warm, because that's 3 or 4 errors already in one game from the side of Joe Cuevas. So might be a little short for his time on the court. Middle blocker, Marcus Molina, back row for the first time. Goes for a short serve, perfect pass, and a little bit of misconnection there with the middle. O'Gorman takes another swing out of the Bic, and I think he has hit 7 for 8, if not more than that so far in the back row attacks. O'Gorman proving to be a very effective outside option. And back in November, Pablo Guzman was struggling to be as consistent, I think, as we're seeing right now. So it's great to see that adjustment on the side of Blaze. Nice dig here, long rally. A lot of block touches on the side of Untouchables. Third one in a row shut down. Joe Cuevas sends it deep. Mitch Wiskirchen goes to the D-ball, and Holiday takes a chop. Their back and system goes to the outside, and that's going to be Guzman taking a swing here and getting his turn to score a point. Great rally. Love to see that early on. Blaze is going to need some more points like that to find their way back into this one and close this 5-point deficit. Wiskirchen goes outside, doesn't quite get the handle. And Ragland able to kind of just chip an uncharacteristic point in there, as O'Gorman was not ready for that one. Little miscommunication, I think, on defensive expectations. But middle back, got to step up, find that one. Play defense first. Magorian targets the platform of O'Gorman. And Guzman finds a block that is not quite over the net. Goes through the hands of Buffum there, number 20 on the side of the Untouchables. Good jump serve, great pass by Ragland. Goes for that high hand turn. Not quite able to find the hands, though, of Rodriguez, who is an exceptionally disciplined blocker and won't give you any high hands to use. He presses low into that seam, and that's going to be another point for Blaze here. If they're able to get one more real point, that's going to start putting them in a striking range. Perfect pass. Set a little bit off the net, but away from the block. It's going to be set over here. Buffum takes first ball. Back one run, but goes to the outside, and down the line is Ragland. In that play, you'll see that the ball hit the ceiling. That is the only modification to the FIVB rule book that the NVA uses, is that we do not call the ball dead on the ceiling contact as long as it stays on your side of the net. So Blaze was able to keep that rally going there. High hands dug, and it's going to be pulled out. Untouchables are going to keep this one alive. Aired out on the side of Ragland. Massanet back in system. Outside, Joe Cuevas looks to terminate that, and that's a, if I saw that correctly, looks like a Holiday there commits on the middle for the 3 route, leaving outside hitter Guzman with no one up. Or that was, that was Cuevas there with no one up. Pretty big mistake there, and a great point on the side of Blaze. Middle option gets a touch on the side of Blaze, hits Massanet in the head as he falls, and that's going to be a technical timeout as Untouchables win the race to 16. Chicago on the side of Blaze, but they're also really doing a good job of extending the rallies and finding good out-of-system sets where they need them. We're seeing good production right now from both Ragland and Ramos on the outside. Nice serve out of the timeout. Perfect pass from O'Gorman, and Cuevas goes, but that's going to be a dig there by Wisconsin. Set back up, one-handed set there. O'Gorman turns and goes down the line. That's the third one-handed set that we've seen from Bugs, that he's been able to pull back from tight passes, and he's really, really connecting with O'Gorman on those sets. Still down by 4. Rodriguez is going to try to create some momentum here with his big jump serve. Forced to go outside, and Ramos shuts it down right away with a big swing into the back of the court there from Blaze. Good passing from Melendez. He's been dialed in serve receive so far in the 3rd set. And when you've got that kind of momentum and energy, it's going to put your team in a much better position to score effectively like we're seeing right now. Little quick mop on the floor. Untouchables making some big defensive moves, so we're seeing them spread, getting some moisture on the court. We got to make sure that they're safe, get that all cleaned up. Once again, Buffum was the one on the back line that really opened up this service run and this large point lead in the first part of this game. So we'll see if he's able to do some damage or if Blaze are able to get out of it early. Ask and you shall receive. He knows his targets in serve receive. He's going after a little bit of that unsteady platform there from O'Gorman and Guzman when you hit that seam. So I would expect that right now we're going to see O'Gorman be a little bit more aggressive in that, and he's going to take that from Guzman. Massanet taking half the court with a perfect pass, and now O'Gorman taking that big swing. Good block touch. Massanet bump sets to the outside. Going to be a little tight, but O'Gorman not quite able to find that one. Magorian showing to be a huge substitution on the side of the Untouchables. Really doing a great job of slowing down the offense of the Blaze. Gets his 2nd terminal block in the same game. Love to see that kind of energy off the bench. Buffum bounces it off, and that's the second ace. Just like I said from that first run in the game, proving to be an absolute threat right now. He knows what he's trying to do. This is the exact same we saw from him back in November, and it was so effective then. Switches it up, goes after Massanet there. Cuevas taking that same swing, that's just not able to find the court. He's really not getting on top of the ball. It seems like he's having some issues elevating, and that's going to be Coach Eddie Joe making a timeout call right now. I'm pretty sure we'll see Charles Belvin coming back in here in the fourth set if the Untouchables are able to hold this 9-point lead at 21-12. Certainly a nice little turnaround and a great indication of sometimes the scoreboard not really showcasing what the current state of the game is. So anyone that's tuning in late, Blaze took commanding wins in 25-18 and I believe 25-21 in the first and second sets, but Untouchables able to make a one-man personnel change with Megorian in the middle, and Blaze was feeling a little confident making three changes, one middle with Marcus Molina, the right side Joe Cuevas, and second outside with Francisco Guzman. But right now their back is against the wall, so we'll see what how Coach Eddie Joe handles this. Buffum goes short on the float, challenging Massanet, gets the overpass, and that's a kill. Once again, saying Megorian's name, he is determined to show that even as a shorter middle at 6'4", coming off the bench, the man is here to play and make a name for himself on this weekend in the NVA. Love to see the energy. Buffum changes the target once again, goes to Guzman this time, and O'Gorman tries to get him out of it. Block able to slow that touchdown, but it falls all the same. A much needed point from the side of Blaze to get them out of that rotation. Good work from the side of Buffum as a middle blocker, scoring 7 or 8 serving runs so far this set. Joe Cuevas able to control that serve, puts it in. And there's Holiday with a nice casual stroke down the line. Mitch Wiskerson gives it to him on a plate with a nice one-on-one blocking scheme opportunity there. No double block from Molina. Handled very well. Ooh, there's a nice hybrid. Massanet puts it up in the air high, forcing a back row swing. Off, goes to that off-net chop, catches Wiskerson in transition there, and no one in the back of the court to pick up that second contact. 14-23, still a 9-point deficit the Blaze is trying to overcome here. So O'Gorman, as far as I'm concerned, just green light, start hammering that ball and see if you can get some momentum going. But that toss is way too far out in front, so by the time he gets to that point of contact, it's a low contact point, and that's going to go the way of the Untouchables, giving them set point for Game 3 at 24-14. Ramos has been applying good pressure so far from the service line, and this is no exception. Perfect pass by O'Gorman, goes to Molina in the middle. He opens that one up and finds a much-needed point for Blaze. Right now, they've got to just get some momentum going. D-ball option. That's going to be a low seam there. Holiday not quite able to handle that one. Serving substitution coming in, and this is going to be the final player we've yet to see from the LA Blaze. That's going to be number 18. That's Dale Irvin. Little discussion right now in terms of personnel on the rosters here. And that has now been resolved. So Dale Irvin, the second setter, played out of Fullerton College and Westcliff University here in LA. Looking to see if he can put together a little run. Refs are just getting, it looks like the name was not in the system correctly, so that is getting updated right now as we use Data Volley here. And with that, we are all squared away and good to go. And that one's going to be served into the net. Kind of a interesting substitution there after Molina's already made one, but you know, I think at that point when you're down by 9, maybe just trying to get him on the court, keep him warm, something like that. So that's going to be the Chicago Untouchables taking a substantial win here in the third set. Looking like they found a little bit of renewed energy. Blaze, with some of their substitutions, not quite finding the same energy and chemistry on the court. We're seeing Jordan Wally and Charles Belvin peppering on the back line. I'm pretty sure they're both going to be coming right back in to anchor some of the hitting errors and lack of passing that we were seeing. Big part of this is always being ready to go. You know, teams having the ability to make substitutions mid-game means that when the ship starts going down, you utilize that bench to plug some holes, make some adjustments, and Blaze is still very much in control of this match with a 2-1 set lead.
I have a lineup for you. I was just waiting until you were done. I didn't want to like shove it in your face while you were typing.
Do want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor Mikasa for being the official ball of the NVA. Love seeing the V200W out here on the court. Also a big thank you to Pierce Sports Center here in San Bernardino, California, providing a great court, plenty of space, and an opportunity for the NVA to kick off the 2021 season. We'll be playing several events here throughout the year. It's great having several Southern California teams be able to be local to this gym. This is home of the Ontario Matadors. A pretty quick commute for local teams like the OC Stunners, the LA Blaze, and the Las Vegas Ramblers. Definitely exciting to see the league continue to develop, you know, volleyball just across the country, though, not just in some of the volleyball meccas that you're so used to hearing with Southern California, but seeing 2 teams now out of Texas, got Southern exposure out of Florida, now the Chicago Untouchables getting added in the Windy City. Of course, Team Freedom holding it down in Jersey and the tri-state area, and of course the Utah Stingers is the first place reigning champions. Going to be a great time to see them later on in this event. Getting a look now at these lineups, and just as expected, Blaze has returned to the same starting lineup that won them those first 2 sets, and Chicago Untouchables is going to hold what worked for him just now. So we're going to see Taylor Megorian holding his spot in the court, and hold it well he has, earning a couple points swinging offensively. 2 notable blocks there, getting some nice touches on plenty of other rallies to extend. You love seeing a 6'4" middle that's going to be quicker to the pins, and you know, someone like that getting involved early. I think both of these teams are going to look to establish the middles early, as they're both very middle-centric teams. Wiskirchen wasn't quite able to connect with Buffum as much as he would like there, so I think we're going to see more of that in the set 4 here. But great pass by O'Gorman. Wally chips it to keep it alive, and there's a big option here, and that's going to be swung through the block effectively. And Nick Ramos is having a heck of a match so far, really being the anchor to be a consistent swing, scoring points consistently, and being an offensive threat here for the Untouchables. Wiskirchen goes for this jump serve, challenges the hands of Wally. Doug once again, and Untouchables is going to look for a chop roll deep. O'Gorman goes for the back left of the court, but that's well defended and finds that one into the tape. Wally didn't quite get the hand pass he wanted to start that rally, making him the only hitting option there. So we'll see if they're able to clean up this serve receive a little bit, as he's kind of coming off that 1 game cooler. Goes to him once again. In the 3rd swing of the game so far, Wally is struggling to find options that's going to get Blaze future swings in the rally. That one blocked terminally on the side of Buffum and Holiday working together to shut that one down. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a middle set or even Charles Belvin swinging all the way around for a D ball here. Massanet with a good pass. There's the middle route, Rodriguez, but that's a block touch by Buffum. Belvin flying out of the back row, finds a tip to keep that alive. Ramos reverses the court and forces Massanet to make a diving up, and Belvin once again in system here. Nice diving up by the Untouchables libero, and we're going to see Holiday taking a big swing from the angle. Does not, Blaze looking for an antenna call, but there is nothing there. Holiday earning his keep on the right side. Great up halfway through the rally there by Melendez. Number 3, the libero for the Untouchables. Great rally here in the 4th set, as that's a 4-0 lead on the side of the Untouchables, which is quickly ended by Wiskersian serving in the net. But that's a great way to answer back some momentum that they developed for themselves in the 3rd set. Bugs attacking Ramos, and Wiskersian gets all the way across the court, and Holiday's going to look for a nice chop, takes the setter out. Rodriguez goes to Belvin. Belvin blocks back into his chest. One-on-one. Matt Buffum says, no way.
Set 3 was 25-16. Thank you.
Buffum having an absolute showcase here so far. O'Gorman dimes the pass, puts him back into transition, and Rodriguez does not connect, and that one goes long. Not quite finding the offensive points that they're looking for. No replay system just yet in the NVA, but the guys are all joking about it, looking for it. And once again, they're saying, same thing we saw earlier, ball doesn't lie. So that serve goes in the net for Raglan. Be interested to see what serve Wally opts for here. Jump serve comes across. Nice pass by Raglan. Goes to the middle. Matt Buffum once again challenging that cutback that he likes so much, but misses the court on this one. Massanet in a great spot defensively. Knows if it's that high on his left arm, that ball is going out. Wally goes for that top spin once again. Good pass by Ramos. Goes backside to Holiday, and he's able to use the outside hand of the block there. I'm getting a game ball touch here as it comes towards me. Matt Buffum once again in a scary spot for the Blaze. Challenge is short. Rodriguez has to take that one, but does so beautifully, allowing for the lefty Charles Belvin to score a nice point into the deep court. A lot of really disciplined swings from him. He loves challenging that deep line, even though he's more than capable of hitting the ball straight down. The block often prevents it, but he knows better even when it's not there. He just likes to use that deep, deep swing. Big jump serve handled well. Covered, and then Untouchables not quite able to put that dig together. We've got a score of 5-7 now for the LA Blaze, as Rodriguez looks for another big jump serve. That was a great pass in the last service rotation there by Melendez. See if he can do it again. Ramos puts a perfect pass up and gets a set from from Wiskersian there. Tight punch over. Raglan once again more than comfortable to take the hand sets. We're seeing a little a pattern here that if Raglan gets a chance, he wants second ball if Mitch is out. But Blaze shuts that down. Nice block move there and able to get another terminal block. We're starting to see a little return to form from games 1 and 2. Rodriguez putting good pressure on from the service line right now. Now Raglan gets that perfect pass, and good kill there deep into the corner by Megorian. And you know, one of those things that even though there was a nice service run from the side of the LA Blaze, something that Untouchables can find a little bit of solace in is that they had 3 perfect passes in a row. Guys at this level are going to find their groove. They're going to find their rhythm, get the swings that they want. So
Search
as
no
long
more,
as you can pass,
it's
good things will come.
here,
And
fun
that's where
and
we see
joy,
it,
endless
nice
cheer.
pass once again
The
there
memories so
by,
dear,
that's
after
gonna be Raglan
years,
back.
still so clear. Journey into this and more. Come on over and explore. Different world, surely say nothing more one can ask for. Just treat your senses. Experience is no pretenses. Every step is something new, perfect to refresh you. Live your favorite memory. Malaysia, land of memory. Keep your favorite memory. Malaysia, land of memory. Malaysia, truly Asia.
For anyone that is tuning in for the first time, we are in the middle of set 4 right now, coming out of a technical timeout. Blaze leads sets 2-1, but the current game is going the way of the Chicago Untouchables with an 8-6 lead. Another tight pass and goes to that one-handed set. So what does that mean? It's time for the big swing from O'Gorman. That's their third one-handed set to a one-handed swing connection we've seen, and Bugs is more than comfortable to toss that outside, as that reduces the lead to just 1 point. Charles Belvin's first serve, I believe, coming off the bench from being, sat down for one game in third, so goes for a little bit more control before he goes up to blast that. And Ramos isn't waiting for his chance to blast that ball, turns it down the line. Once again, we're seeing a pretty big hitting vocabulary from number 15 on the Chicago Untouchables. Great turn down the line. O'Gorman with a great pass. Gets the set now, and good block touch. Untouchables look to free ball this one over. Massanet takes it, and they're back in system, and there's the dump from Bugs. That's his fourth dump of the match. He likes to go front and back, and Massanet knows exactly where he wants those free balls, so he's putting him tight when he's got a front row setter there and making sure that his setter is an offensive option and not just relying on Charles Belvin on the D ball to provide some threat on the left side. That's going to, we're still maintaining that 1 point distance, but O'Gorman, not quite able to challenge it. Magorian, a new face to the NVA. We'll see if he's able to continue developing a little bit of a name for himself on the back line with some good service pressure here. Massanet with a great pass. Low set to Nieves in the middle. Holiday, nice high set to the outside. Gets a block touch called, and that's going to be a point on the side of the Untouchables. If we're seeing one constant here, it's that everybody on Untouchables is ready to take that second ball. Holiday with a nice set outside. Nieves goes for a swing there, but looks a little low once again on the set selection. Good block touch. There's a dig into the ceiling. Looked like a perfect dig for Ramos, but unfortunately catches the lip of the girders here in the Pierce Sports Center and sends that one over. Love to see that defensive scheme. They go 3 flat. And finds a great dig there. We're seeing a little bit of a different conversation. The libero on the side of the Untouchables making some adjustments. He shifts in Holiday into serve receive, puts Ramos back on the back line. Good adjustment too. It pays out for him as Holiday's able to get a good pass here. Charles Belvin with the step close. Dug on the off block there by Mitch Wiskershyn. And there's that termination once again on the outside from Raglan. Every single guy on Untouchables is a setter, and that's a great set to the outside there by Melendez. Nice off-blocker defense there, finding a one-handed punch dig from the side of Wiskershyn as well. Big route option. O'Gorman still has a lot of pressure and threat on the back row attack there. Untouchables not quite finding the answer they want, so don't be surprised if we see more of that in this game to come. Good pass here, and it's going to go backside once again, and that's going to find the antenna. We've seen Bugs make some good adjustments on the back line after a fairly significant amount of service errors in games 1 and 2. I think he went errorless in the 3rd set, and now so far is putting together some runs in the 4th. So good adjustments on him. Glad to see that all happening. Great pass by Melendez. Missed connection from Buffum, from Whiskerchin to Buffin, and that one doesn't quite go over. And that's going to be a tied score at 12s for Blaze here. Nice little 3-point run by Bugs. Goes for a little short option, takes Whiskerchin out. Holiday gets a high swing, reset easy by Blaze. Massenet's going to take a bump set to the outside. Belvin gets a tight set. Covered and reset here, though, from Wally going for a deep chop. One-handed punch dig again. And this one's going to be tight, little joust, but that's going to be in the net by Ragland, and Ragland not happy with that. I don't know if I love or hate how aggressive that bump set was. I mean, that's a tough play for Ragland to make there. It's almost a perfect ball from Melendez, but just a little bit too much. I'd like to see the ability to recycle that point here for the Untouchables. Bugs once again with a good serve. And Mitch wants to give his guy a chance to fire it back up. A lot of energy here on the side of the Chicago Untouchables, so he knows he's going to need Ragland dialed in. Goes right back to him on the right side there. Ragland finds a big kill, and he is back on top. We're tied at 13s. The man is battling a mental roller coaster right now. Misses that one into the net on the jump serve. Just a little too jazzed up. I think he needs to take a breath or two, get himself back in there, and he's ready to go. Ramos now back front row, though, for the outside. It's going to be a big offensive option on the side of the Untouchables. Trading missed serves is Wally. So far, he's had some pretty aggressive runs. So once again, one of those guys you want to give the green light to let him really rip that serve. Buffum targets the front row O'Gorman with a great pass, and that's going to be another swing with Rodriguez not finding the court. He's one of those guys that sees the block so well and knows far better than to swing at it. So sometimes when he's looking for that huge range, he opens it up just a little bit too much, and we see that there. Another great pass from O'Gorman. One-handed dig sent over, goes back to O'Gorman, and O'Gorman finds the antenna with a hitting error there. We're starting to see that Untouchables defense once again rear its nose, and that's going to be a technical timeout at 16. Buffum once again going back there and putting the pressure on the back line. This rotation was just one of those things that some teams, when they get to certain blocks,
the memory so dear, after years still so clear. Journey into this and more. Come on over and explore different world. Surely say nothing more one can ask for. Just treat your senses. Experience is no pretenses. Every step is something new. Perfect to refresh you. Live your favorite memory. Malaysia, land of memory. Keep your favorite memory. Malaysia, land of memory. Malaysia, truly Asia.
Buffum is likely going to continue targeting O'Gorman as the front row outside. You got to keep it away from Massenet as much as possible. The man in white wearing a shirt that might as well say avoid me at all costs. There it is, finds O'Gorman, but perfect pass once again. Back to Belvin, and Belvin does what he does best. Big swing down the line, opens that up. And that's going to be a point for the Blaze, finding a way out of that run there from Buffum. Know your go-to hitter. You don't have to hide it from the other team sometimes when you got a guy that you can rely on to score you points, and Charles Belvin is just that. Rodriguez with his jump serve. Pursued by Mitch Wiskershyn, keeps it alive. Free ball sent over. A little bit of mayhem on the side of Untouchables, and Charles Belvin once again opens up the cannon. The man turns it down the line and shoves it down the throat of Melendez in the back row, who is unable to come up with that dig. There's a very obvious reason that he has been named captain of this team. Not only does he carry himself well as a teammate, but he knows how to get the job done when Blaze needs a point. Rodriguez putting some great pressure from the service line right now. We'll see if he can do it one more time. He gets the overpass, and there is Belvin once again. 3 points back to back to back. Number 27 getting the job done, but Rodriguez setting him up, and that's going to force a timeout from the Untouchables. And that's a 1 point lead from the side of LA Blaze as Charles Belvin puts the boys in red on his back and says, boys, I got this. And the best thing is when you got a teammate that's doing that, you sell out to make sure that they get their swings. If you're the off blocker, make sure you're covering up. You get nice block touches. If you're on the back line, keep your serves in and let Charles swing. Right now, if you're on the side of the Untouchables, they've got to dial that serve receive in. They've got to find, the longer the rallies are going right now, they're going the way of Blaze. So you want to see them be dialed in right from the get-go. They want to be in system and find the point on the very first contact. I think their go-to option right now is going to be number 15, Nick Ramos, who's been getting the job done all day long. So I think Mitch is going to be looking for that outside option. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle on the left over there. But Rodriguez returns with great service pressure. Untouchables is going to look to send this one all the way over. It avoids the ceiling. It stays good. One-handed set once again, and that's going to be a kill from the middle, number 7, Pedro Nieves. Once again, Bugs does the one-handed set for the 5th time this match. Great hustle on the side of Untouchables, but when you've got service pressure this good from Rodriguez, they're going to have to find an answer. Jump serve goes long, but again, you're more than happy to have that when the man's already gotten an ace and several out-of-system swings. Finds that one on his wrist. He laughs as he heads out of the court. Massanet coming back on in serve receive, and that's going to put Holiday on the back line, hitting a float serve. O'Gorman's his target, and there's only one option on that pass, and that one's going to be long. That's the goal with that serve right there, is when you're serving that front row outside, so many outsides want to head straight to the front row and get a big swing, but you got to make them pass first. So good target by Holiday. Wally gets a good pass there, but bad tight set by Bugs. Dug out, and it's going to be overpass once again. Wiskershyn goes to the outside, and that's going to be a hard angle swing that can't find the court. (19-18), Blaze here by 1. Belvin's probably feeling pretty warmed. I would not be surprised if we see a full swing from him. There's a toss to match, and there's the serve. He's happy to go for it, but doesn't quite, go his way, and that's going to be tied at 19. Untouchables very much in a position to still win this set and force a 5th. Player coach Mitch Wiskershyn trying to keep his guys fired up. Belvin on the D-ball is the big option there. Good block reset. O'Gorman gets a tight inside set and has to wipe it. But there's going to be a bump set to the outside, and Ragland takes a swing that's dug by Wally. Outside from O'Gorman. O'Gorman dug. Once again going outside to Ragland. Ragland turns, takes a rip, and finds a kill into the corner. Not able to be dug by Wally. A nice gather, step, turn, and swing. Ragland absolutely proving his worth out on the outside there. Number 13 getting it done for white and blue. Good jump serve. Another pass by O'Gorman, that's good, but it's got to be dumped over. Tip kept alive. One-handed punch dig there by Belvin. Clears out for Wally to take a big swing, covered by Nieves. Massanet goes to the outside, and O'Gorman challenges that 4-4. If you're going to give him angle, he's going to take it. If you don't give him angle, he'll probably take it anyway. 2020, we're in the final leg of this race, and Untouchables really got to make sure that they close this one out if they want to send this one into the extra innings of set 5. Great pass by Melendez, and that's going to be a nice dig in the back row. Blaze looking for an offensive swing while he chops it deep. Wiskershin goes to the middle and gets a touch off of Megorian. No touch seen. I thought I saw one from here, but it doesn't quite go their way. Niev's able to keep his hands out of the way, and that's going to be a 1-point lead now. O'Gorman takes a great start in the race to 5. Gets that one in the net. Love to see a guy that's, he had a couple hitting errors there, but goes back on the back line, still able to challenge, get them that first point in this back and forth in the final leg here, but we'll see if he's able to handle serve receive as Megorian goes back and challenges Massanet. Another dump. Untouchables returns the favor, but kind of a chop shot, easy pickup. But that is going to be a big swing from Jordan Wally getting the job done off the outside hand there of Wiskershin. Not sure what his motive there was with that little left-handed chop. I think he was trying to catch some people sleeping, but if he's been looking at the defense at all from LA Blaze, they're playing shallow and ready for that all day long. Nieves goes for float serve once again, but great pass by Ragland. Goes back to the middle. One-hand scoop from Belvin, who gets a great defensive read. But front row from Blaze not quite able to turn and track that ball. Matt Buffin once again showing he can go left, he can go right, and he can go high. Cuts that one back hard over his left shoulder and challenges Belvin. Tying us up at 22 all. O'Gorman with a perfect pass goes to the big route once again, and O'Gorman's going to send that one into the deep corner, except for it's a back row infraction. Steps on that 3-meter white line, and that's going to be the first lead in this late part of the game that we're seeing at 23-22 for Untouchables. If Mitch Wiskershin can put a little bit more pressure here, he might put them at set point for set 4 here. And that's not the quite pressure he was looking for. That's going to tie us up at 23 all. The name of the game right now is you have to side out this first point if you're the Untouchables. The side of LA Blaze, focus on this first blocking move, extend the rally and get it out to your pins to swing in transition. Bugs missing on a safe attempt at a serve. Not the same aggression we've seen from his other attempts. And we're at set point here. Ragland targets Massanet, goes to the outside. Charles Belvin step closes and does not find the swing that he wants. That's Untouchable, sending us to 5. We're seeing the boys from Chicago making their NVA debut and showing that they're not ready to roll over by any means. 25-23 scrap fest here. A couple digs on the side of the Untouchables, keeping rallies moving. A little bit of confidence here on the outside with Nick Ramos really anchoring this team. We're seeing Ragland find a couple big points there with some step closes and ending some long rallies all by himself. Meanwhile, on the side of the LA Blaze, we're seeing Charles Belvin putting up massive points. Uncharacteristic error to end that game right there. You don't want to see, but both teams more than happy to exchange blows here. And, you'll see if you ever watch international volleyball, you watch over in Europe, there's a lot of goals for guys to extend rallies, earn what we call half points, make it so that when the ball comes back over the next rally, you're putting yourself in a favorable position. And we've got a bunch of guys in the NVA that have experience playing internationally. I got to tell you right now, though, LA Blaze is not about that. The pins on LA Blaze, they want that set. They want to end this rally right now. So the more defense that we see from Untouchables on their blocking moves as well as back row, the more they can extend rallies, the better position that they're going to be in.
Set freeze invalid. I didn't sign.
I would expect to see no switches back here from the side of Untouchables, as the only change they made, Megorian seems to have brought wins for that team so far along with him. Now we're taking a look over at Blaze, and it looks like they're going to be returning the exact same roster as well. So we'll see. I think Blaze maybe improve a little bit of their, I wouldn't say set selection, but offensive efficiency from some of their hitters there. I think Bugs is doing a pretty good job spreading the offense out, using his hitters effectively, but there's been a lot of swings that are going long, wide, and even a couple into the antenna. So we'll look to see some of those players kind of settle in. Now, I mentioned it earlier, O'Gorman likes to go angle, angle, and more angle. So we've seen a couple swings that he's put long or hit into the antenna. Line is not his typical go-to. I'd like to see a little bit of return to form for him, keep challenging that hard angle. Now, that's all great in theory from where I'm at. I can't quite see the blocking moves that we're seeing from middle blockers Matt Buffum and Taylor Megorian. However, I can tell you that they are effectively slowing down the offense from LA Blaze much better in the third and fourth sets, allowing for Untouchables to find a system, find a rhythm, and find their way back into this match, sending us into the fifth set. Excited to see the first event get underway with a game to 5. It's going to be LA Blaze starting it off with a serve here, so that's going to be Bugs once again opted to be the first server. I'd like to see him going back to that same confident first swing, see if he can find a little rhythm, maybe get a point or two to start this one off. We're going to see Massanet continue to dominate. He's in at least 50% of the court as his responsibility, doing a very good job of controlling things, so we'll see how that goes. We're seeing on the other side, Melendez is continuing game after game to improve his defense, which he's had a consistent serve receive all game, but the more digs he gets, the more rallies Untouchables is finding a way to win. So Melendez is really proving to be a critical part of this defense, and even in Ryan Alu's absence, he is certainly no slack in earning his keep here on the court. Mitch is trying to talk to me on the court right now, and I have no idea what he's saying. It's one of those big advantages here with the NVA. We're putting me directly on the court, so I have the ability to hear a lot of the things going on, see it all happening live, and every now and then get a ball hit my way if the guys don't like what I have to say about them. Blaze has rotated it back. One rotation here, started in 6, which is going to give them Pedro Nieves first float server on the back line. And once Untouchable sides out, that's going to be Mitch Wiskershин as the first server. So both of these teams opting to get their setters back row as fast as possible and let their oppos get up there and get some nice block touches. 0-0 in set 5 if you're just tuning in the first match of the weekend. Pedro Nieves hits a nice float serve, and Buffum looks to open it up. There's a nice touch in the back row there by O'Gorman, but not able to be controlled. Buffum earning his points early with a 1-0 lead. After this match, we're going to have the Las Vegas Ramblers taking on the brand new Texas Tyrants, relocated from Tennessee to Texas. Wiskershин hits the jump. O'Gorman with a nice pass, and they return the favor through the middle themselves. Number 14, that's Rodriguez, scoring off Bugs. 1-1 right now as LA Blaze gets a chance to open up a lead here with a nice serve. There it is for Bugs. Nice back step from Wiskershин, pushes it off just a little bit though. Massanet slides in nicely, and Belvin goes for that off speed. And when you've got a guy that is that physical, gets up that high, and establishes himself as a huge hitter, one of the most important tools in his hitting repertoire is that he hits that little top shot over and finds that little 12-foot line roll shot no one's quite ready for, and it's a great thing for him to have in the hitting vocabulary. 2-1 Blaze. 2-2 Untouchables just like that. A missed serve undoing all the good that was done last point. Raglan's been looking to go into the left half of the court here with his jump serve. We'll see if he does the same. Massanet with a perfect pass. Go for that big route with O'Gorman once again, and he is just untouchable out of the back row. Wally with a jump serve cross court, handled well by Raglan, and nice block touch on the side of Blaze. That's going to be a reset though. Wiskersian goes back to Holiday, and Holiday finds the eye of Rodriguez, who was actually hands pulled below the net. But Holiday finds his mark, and Rodriguez takes that one off of his left eye. If you're unfamiliar with what pulling the block is, right there Holiday had very limited hitting options, and so in order to prevent getting tooled, Rodriguez tried to pull his hands below the net. Unfortunately, in doing so, Holiday snapped down on that ball and found Rodriguez in the face. But Belvin goes for that roll shot once again, and if at first it does succeed, I guess just do it again. Belvin really showcasing how much of a veteran he is. We'll see if he's able to kind of keep this energy going all the way through. Be the guy that Blaze can rely on. Big jump serve, but that one not quite made contact there by Rodriguez, and he's going to send that one along out of the back of the court. That's going to be a set into the net there by Holiday. Charles Belvin once again looking for that big offensive serve, 5-4. Top spin, finds that one into the net. A little bit of off speed once again, and it's working for him front row, but not on the service line. Tied at 5s here. No one yet showing that there's a crack in their armor to be exploited. Massanet with a good high ball that's going to let O'Gorman take a swing from the outside, but that's a triple block as Raglan gets out there next to Megorian and Holiday, and that's a triple block for the Untouchables that's going to shut down O'Gorman there, sorry. The O'Gorman-Megorian 1-2 punch is a bit of a tongue twister. Ramos misses that one in the net. He was able to get one though, so that's going to be a 1-point lead for, or apologies, it was, but now it's going to be tied. Blaze looks to extend their lead. O'Gorman swings a big serve over, and we're seeing the over-the-shoulder spin there from Raglan. Little court reversal from Massanet, and there's going to be a touch on the back line. Belvin always ready to step close and find an aggressive swing. Massanet really loves his platform when he goes for that for the second ball touch when he's got a set, but aggressive over his shoulder with that platform. Great set. O'Gorman once again going for the aggressive swing, doesn't find that one just long. Toss comes across his body a little bit there, and he follows it, so not quite going to get it there, but as long as these servers are just kind of advancing the game forward 1 point at a time. Bugs takes the easy point, says, "Thank you, sir. You guys seem to keep forgetting about me and my dump." So that's going to be the technical timeout at 8. Normally this would be a court change, but again, with COVID safety protocol here with the NBA, we are not switching sides. So as we've seen Blaze be on the same side the entire match, and Untouchables going to the other side home. to see if they can reactivate their middles a bit and get Buffum involved here. We're seeing that same adjustment here being made by libero Juan Melendez as he's having Holiday step in to pass here. Always interesting to see an adjustment like that where you have an opposite in the serve receive. But that's why he does it. Perfect pass, and Mitch Wiskershyn gets his chance to dump that one down. The back row general, number 3, Juan Melendez, makes sure he knows exactly what look he wants in serve receive there. I applaud that, and I love to see when your libero's taking control of the back row like that. Mitch missing in the net once again. A little bit of an easy bailout point that's going to bring Blaze back to their 1-point lead. Float short. Ragland goes up. We're seeing a lot more range from Ragland as this match goes on. He's doing a fantastic job of opening up his shoulders as the set gets to him to swing deep into the court. When he's on the left side, we were seeing a lot of the same thing, opening up far more angles for him, and that one's going to go just long. Untouchables really need to clean up their serving attempts right now. They're giving Blaze way too many free points with missed serves. And we are quickly rounding that final turn here in set 5 at 10-9. So Wally right now with a good serve can really start to put a nail in the coffin. Good up by Ragland, and it's going to be Holiday taking that lefty swing, goes over the top. No one home. And that's going to be a timeout from the Untouchables, looking to just isolate that server a little bit more, see if they can get Wally out of his rhythm. But Wally doing a great job, coming into that set 5. There is a lot of pressure and nerves. The natural thing is, hey, I've got to make this serve. Guys want to go for the easier option, but that's the worst thing you can do. Do what you do best. Trust your serve, trust your training, and if you get your toss, go after it. Absolutely, especially as a jump server. So love to see that confidence, love to see those swings right there. And we'll see how Wally's able to come out of this timeout right now. They've got a 2-point lead. If I'm his teammates, I'm his coach, I want all the confidence in the world to tell my guy, go out and hammer this serve out of the timeout, because another point right now starts to get into that world where Untouchables has really got their back against a wall. Would not be surprised on to see a push route to Matt Buffum here if they get the pass that they want. So be ready to see number 20 flash his stuff. He'll probably hit that cutback challenge Massanet. Loves to show off his range. There's the serve. Low pass, so it's going to go outside here. Tooled off the outside. Again, Nick Ramos earning his keep. He's really showing his versatility on the outside, and as an 0-2 to be contributing that many points, it's really, really doing a lot for the Untouchables here, and that's going to be 10-11. Buffum goes for that float, changes his target this time. Bit of an interesting call there. There was a double, which I was under the impression could not happen with just a one-handed contact, but that's, again, what I see from here. So they're just going to make their call. We're going to trust our referees to do it right. So Rodriguez goes back for a jump serve with a 2-point lead. Goes short. Wiskershyn tracks it down, goes to the outside. Wally with a hand dig that's going to go overpass. And Megorian uses all sorts of range and gets a kill. Right now it's still a 1-point lead for Blaze, but if Holiday's able to put a little something together on the back line, we are going to be quickly in the tied up world. Belvin goes for that hard angle, does not. That was low in the net. I think there's some discussion if it maybe got a contact on a hand at the high point of the tape. I certainly didn't see one, but refs have far better angles than I do for that one. I thought I saw Belvin just go low into his tape and not quite get the swing that he wants. This is going to be a very pivotal point, though, because if this goes the way of the Untouchables, that's going to tie them at 12. If it goes the way of Blaze, that's going to open their lead up to 2 with the opportunity to serve and be aggressive with it. Point is going the way of Blaze. And now the big thing is that Untouchables needs to not be rattled by this and just keep playing. Little server check needs to happen, I think, here, as these guys need to figure out, after discussions like that, frequently get a little confused, and Charles Belvin knows that he's the next one up. Float serve kept in after that big point right there. But, you know, set goes to Ramos on the outside, and he's had a lot of success swinging down the line, but challenges it there and hits the pin. Untouchables needs to just take a breath. Unlikely that we see Belvin return to the jump serve. Might just go for that float once again, but you never know with Charles Belvin. Yep, goes for that float once again. Short challenge. Goes back to the middle. Megorian gets a block touch. Belvin pulls that one out of the deeps of the court. Nice dig by Melendez. Miscommunication for Untouchables, but they make it happen. They're back in system on the side of Blaze, and a little tip over the side is out. Wiskershin gets, he makes a bold call there to let that one go, and it pays off for him. Melendez with a huge lip back row. Stands in and gets a dig on O'Gorman. O'Gorman targeted with that one, and he's going to go up one-on-one, and he finds that kill against Mitch Wiskershin, and that's going to be LA Blaze taking this in 5, earning their first win of the season. No handshakes will be exchanged. Once again, COVID protocol here, so we see the Chicago Untouchables take a tough loss in 5, but that one certainly delivered. Up next, we're going to have the Las Vegas Ramblers taking on the Texas Tyrants. And what's going to be interesting about this one is the Texas Tyrants, formerly as a club, were the Tennessee Tyrants. They've moved down with previous Las Vegas Rambler and USC alumni Gianluca Grasso. He's taking the team down to his neck of the woods in Texas and rebranded the team a bit, giving them a flair of their own. And we're going to see them making their debut under a new team and a new brand today, here, right after this. We'll be back.